Welcome. We are so excited that you guys are here. Welcome to the Key to a Vibrant Body and Life. You're here with your hosts, Corrie-Beth and Mike Lipowski, co-founders of Pure Physique. So let's dive on in. You're on time.
All righty.
We're glad you're here. So what makes for a vibrant body and life? Lead us in here, Mike.
Well, I think we have to answer this question in order to know where we're going. And I think that in order to have a vibrant body and life, we have to have energy. We have to have energy from sun up to sundown. We need to have strength just to carry out our daily activities and do them with ease. Nobody likes struggling with the little things in life. We need to have a healthy and positive mind as well as emotional well-being. We know that a lot of people, that has been a major focus over the past year or two as people had come out of the pandemic. They want to have better emotional well-being, satisfaction with the body that you see in the mirror, because we do have to look at ourselves every single day. The lowest levels possible of daily stress, which we know that for some of you out there who have kids and a job and maybe a husband like me, you might have higher levels of stress than normal. And so we want to do the best we can to lower those. And then very important, getting quality sleep. So those are the things that we are looking for. Now, there's a lot of things that if we have these things going on, it's not going to really make for a great and vibrant life. So we need to make sure that we have good mobility, right? And have good health. So not having those things is going to be detrimental. Not having a moment to breathe, or at least feeling like you don't have a moment to breathe. I think you feel that way from time to time.
I do. I'll be honest. Yes.
Not having mental clarity or control over your emotions or mental health. Or not having a body that you actually feel good in. And then once again, we're going to go back to not having quality sleep. We know that is a detriment as well.
Well, and I'll say that was me for a long time. I'm so grateful that Mike introduced me to 9:30 bedtimes, because mine were in the AM hours, and that made not a great difference. So what is your goal? If you hop on into the chat, you were able to post your goal. I did put a poll up. Some of you answered those questions. And so some people are here looking for fat loss. Some people are here looking for, what is this key that they've been talking about? I want to have a more vibrant life. And most of you said that you want to have more energy, which, would you agree, that has a lot to do with feeling vibrant in your body and in your life? So let us know in the chat. Now, if you're looking for those things that Mike mentioned, you're in the right place. So welcome, and thank you for spending the next 30 minutes with us. It's going to be awesome. So what is this key?
Well, first, before we give you the key, let's talk about the 80-20 rule. Some of you may have heard of this. It's called the Pareto principle. And what this rule says is that 80% of the results that we're looking for actually comes from 20% of our actions. Wow. And so tonight, what we are really going to hone in on is that 20%. So we're not here to say that this is going to solve every single problem that you have. But if you could take care of 80% of those with just 20% activity, would you sign up for that?
Yeah, those are good odds. Yes, I would.
Those are really good odds.
I would. So we want to point to Lindsay. Lindsay was one of those people, like many of us, that ate well, but she was missing this key. And Amy took supplements, right? That's something positive we can do, but she was also missing this key. So the key, Mike, can you read this crazy word for us?
It's myokines. And
who here has heard of a myokine?
Has anybody here heard of myokines? I'd be quite shocked if anybody has.
Nobody in the chat room has.
All right. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what myokines are. And myokines are these little cell signalers. So you can think of them coming out of your muscles like little delivery men. And what they do is they drop off all these little packages and notes and tell parts of your body what to do.
Like the notes you leave me on the coffee maker sometimes?
All those love notes that I leave you. Yeah. And so some of the things that it tells our body to do is to reduce inflammation. It tells it to regulate your metabolism. That means that we are going to be burning more calories at rest and using energy much more efficiently. It tells us to build muscle, but also to repair that muscle after we've used it. These myokines tell us to increase our bone density and bone strength. They tell us to improve our brain health and cognition so that we are thinking clearly. These myokines tell us to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, which is pretty awesome because these have been clinically shown to do this. They improve our cardiovascular and health and conditioning, that is, and they also have these anti-cancer effects. So what they do is they help to inhibit tumor growth, and they also promote what's called cell apoptosis, right? Which is basically cell death. So what it is these myokines are telling these unhealthy cells to go ahead and die off. So if there's one thing that we really need in order to have a vibrant body and life, it's to have an active and consistent release of these myokines throughout our body.
I mean, that sounds great. And, if you could take a pill or a shot, don't take shots for things. I'm talking about the Ozempic phase that everybody's going through right now. How do we get these?
Well, you get them through resistance training. And this is what's really awesome is that if I just go back for a moment, you see my little muscle there. So that was to indicate that is where myokines come from. They get released from the muscles. But the way that they get released from our muscles is through exercise, however, resistance exercise, as in we are going to be lifting some weight. We're not going to be playing around with some rinky-dinky little weights. All right, we're gonna play around with some weights that actually challenge our muscles, because the more that we are challenging our muscles, the more we are releasing these myokines out throughout our body and affecting all of these areas of our health and our fitness.
It's amazing. Well, most people, though, won't resistance train. And there's many reasons and excuses that we can make up. For some people, they're like, well, I got to do it every day and I can't do it every day. Other people think that you got to be in the gym for hours. We were watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary last night, and he spent 7 hours in the gym. I mean, do you have that? Do you have?
That's
Nobody has that. You can't do that. Or they think like you got to do cardio and kickboxing and sweat out 20 pounds of sweat in a yoga class. But you don't have time for that, or some people think I don't want to resistance train because I don't want to get hurt. That's always a big objection that comes up. And other people are like, but wait, I got to stretch first, right? Like I got to do all this stuff before I can do it. And so we fail to resistance train. Now, let us show you. We are all limited by three things. We are limited by our time. We are limited by motivation. Sometimes Netflix sounds better than resistance training. And then, of course, recovery, because if you're doing all that stuff, you're not really going to get great results. But what if you discovered that it only took 30 minutes, 2 to 3 days a week to get some myokines pumping through your body?
I mean, that sounds great to me. Like basically 60 to 90 minutes worth of exercise a week to get all of those benefits that we already outlined. I think that's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, it's better than the stock market right now.
Yep.
And let's make it better. What if you could do it anywhere? Well, Kristen worked out, but nothing really changed. And I could relate to her story. And Ashley was one of those really busy moms that did not have time to go to the gym. But these ladies wanted some myokines. So do you see how resistance training is the key to having that vibrant body and life? Now, other people have said things like Pure Physique, meaning resistance training, helped me to get my life back. And I'm in love with the 30-minute workouts and lifestyle coaching. It's outstanding. And one of my personal favorites is from Amy. I show up more confident. This has opened doors in my health that transferred to my business. So I'm going to make an assumption here. And the assumption is that, it's the next slide, vibrant people do better, earn better, are better. Right?
I think that's pretty accurate.
That is accurate. Do you guys agree with that? You can let us know in the chat box. So having a vibrant body and life does require resistance training. And it's not just resistance training. It's got to have this plan with 4 specific elements that Mike is going to walk us through.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Pure Physique framework. And as you have already guessed, it begins with resistance training. This is the focal point of your workout program. But it's not just about resistance training, because as we alluded to before, there are some people who will go and they'll lift weights, they'll go to the gym, they'll play around on some piece of equipment, but it's not a real focus and being intentional about what you're doing. And this is where the quality of execution comes in. It's not just that we are exercising, it's that we're doing it in a way that, yes, is 100% safe, but not just safe, because it goes beyond that. Some people are like, well, I'm not really as concerned about safety as I am about the result. But in order to get the result, you need to do your exercises with a very high quality of execution. So that means moving at a slow pace, making sure that you are maximizing muscular tension and the recruitment of all these muscle fibers, because the more of those that you're recruiting, the more myokines you're releasing. So this is a key component here. Another key component is your intensity of exercise. So some people get a little afraid, if you will, to work really hard, or they see these images of these guys grunting and grinding their teeth in order to just lift heavy weight. And it's not about that at all, especially for you ladies who may be thinking like, well, I mean, I'm all for working hard, but like that looks ugly. and we don't want anybody looking ugly when they work out. But what we do mean by your intensity of exercise, we mean pushing the exercise to the point of fatigue. You've all heard the saying, what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. Sure. And that's really what it comes down to. It's not about lifting these heavy, big weights. It's about training in a way where you can isolate your muscles and continue to work them to the point of exhaustion, to the point at which, despite your best effort, you can no longer lift that weight, despite which weight you started with. So that means you can start with a lighter weight that you feel comfortable with, but you can still work at this really high intensity level. And then the last but most important piece of this is recovery. So all the things that I just described in numbers 1 to 3, the resistance exercise, doing it with quality execution, working at a high intensity, all that is, it's a stimulus. All it does is it tells your body to release these myokines. It tells your body to get stronger, to make all of these physiological improvements in terms of your energy and your cardiovascular capacity, your flexibility, your range of motion, all of these things. However, doing that does not make those things happen. They all occur in the recovery phase. So we stimulate our body and then we give it time to adapt. And this is where so many people get it wrong, because they use exercise as the means to grind their way to get this result, not realizing what they're really doing is grinding themselves down to the point at which their body will not make those adaptations. So with our Pure Physique framework, what we are doing is we are providing that proper balance between the stress that we're placing on our body, because even though exercise makes us feel good physically, mentally, emotionally, it is still a negative stress that we're placing on our body to get this really good result. But that really good result will only happen if you give yourself enough time. So to circle back to what you were saying earlier, 2 to 3 workouts a week for just 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
Like, that's crazy, but it's really not, because when everything is set up properly, you are providing your body the stimulus that it needs and the proper recovery time to actually make those things happen.
I love that. Well, we had other clients say things like, I'm so much happier. And then we had these amazing clients totally online, never stepped foot in a facility. One lost 60 pounds, Justin?
60 pounds in 6 months.
Wow. And then Dawn went and competed in a bodybuilding show. And again, that may not be your goal. We're just showing you the results that resistance training can have near or far. Not only am I down 30 pounds and several clothing sizes, my energy is sky high and I feel so much healthier. That sounds pretty vibrant, right?
That's awesome.
So vibrant people and bodies resistance train. Resistance training is proven to reduce inflammation, regulate your metabolism, have muscle growth and repair. That's the tone that all you ladies like to see. Increase your bone density and strength, which is something that we worry about as we get older with osteoporosis and osteopenia. Our doctors are testing our bone density, and oftentimes we're not happy with what they have to say. Resistance training also helps improve brain health and cognition. It is clinically proven to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, and has cardiovascular health benefits. So if you don't like cardio, you don't have to do cardio, because resistance training gives you the benefit. But we always say to our clients, if you enjoy going for a run or a jog, have at it. It also does have anti-cancer effects. So myokines,
guys, the only thing that you need to do to be releasing these from your body is to be contracting your muscles at a high intensity. And that is something that is easier to do than you think. We've already outlined many of the reasons why people may not go to the gym or may not train with weights. There's all of these concerns, but I can promise you that we've addressed all of these concerns because we've been dealing with people with these concerns for 16 plus years. And we recognize that long before the advent of myokines came around, and not that they've been invented, but they really had not been discovered until the past few years. These things, we've noticed these changes in people. All of these improvements had been shown in the past, but nobody really had a real reason. Like, what could be the single element that makes all of this take place? And really, it boils down to myokines.
So there is no question. Resistance training is the key to having a vibrant life and body. But we wouldn't tell you to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. And so here's the effect of resistance training on both Mike and myself. And I think that slide is just updating. It's taking a second there. It's coming. So, people have been with us for 3, 7, 12, 15 years. We have more reviews than you could possibly imagine. But I really want to point to the fact that you have a choice. This was very nice. 19 minutes. I learned about a new word called myokines, and I learned all the cool things it can do in my body. And for some of you, it might encourage you to go for another walk. It might encourage you to actually use that gym membership that you're probably paying for, but not using. Or it may discourage you from doing any of that, and you head back into the kitchen and you keep doing the same old stuff that's not getting you the result. And you feel fearful to go back to the doctor. And you don't want to look at your labs, and you don't want to hear that your osteoporosis has advanced, and you don't want to hear that doctor say, hey, you got to lose some weight. We know all of what we have to do. The issue is that we don't always do it. And sometimes it's that glue, it's that accountability of someone saying like, hey, did you do it? Listen, when I live with someone who goes to bed at 9:30 and I'm used to 2 a.m. and he's like, what time did you go to bed? I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Like, I don't want him to know it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I changed my ways, right? You have that choice. We all have that choice. It's always a choice. So I really want to ask you, what are you going to choose? We know that resistance training builds strength, it builds confidence, and it builds vibrancy in people. So what we'd like to do is offer you some very special deals on our online programs. We have on-demand online workouts. They are 30 minutes, and you only have to do them 2 to 3 days a week. I should say you only get to do them 2 to 3 days a week. You get to do these workouts. They're delivered directly to your phone. They are super easy to access. They are simple to cast to your TV. And I'm not going to tell you that they're easy to do, but I will say you feel amazing after doing them. You're going to love and enjoy just how simple it all is to implement, just 60 to 90 minutes a week. But if you're that person that's looking for a little bit more, you're like, what about the abs being made in the kitchen? What about the nutrition and the food? Or I kind of feel like I need somebody to hold my hand a little bit. We do have that option as well. It's a 6-week challenge, also available entirely online. You'll get all the on-demand workouts I just mentioned, but you'll also get a Pure Success coach to hold your hand and walk you through, give you a full onboarding for your nutrition and your goals. And you'll also get access to our nutrition mindset calls, which we just learned on our most recent podcast episode, were really helpful to a lot of clients in the past in helping to change habits, change mind beliefs, and change our mindset about the way that we view fitness. It's not punishment, right? It's a way to really, really change our body in a positive way. So we are going to offer here the 6-week challenge that should pop up on your screen momentarily. Let's see. I think it's there for you guys. I'm not exactly sure, but if it's not, we'll send it out in a link. And that said, we want to see you on our wall of fame. We want to see your picture on here. We want you to come on up and be a part of this. I think we have to stop sharing the slides in order to see the offer. So let's stop the slideshow and let's pop this link up for you guys to take advantage of. I'm going to add it back up right now. Let's see. I think it's there for you, but we can't see it. So we would love to see you in our 6-week challenge. We'd love to have you just for the online workouts. And I would say one of the best parts is you get to see Mike every morning, or Heidi, or one of our trainers. And I mean, what would you say is like people's favorite part about the workout? They always say the 30 minutes is so great. What else do they say?
They said that they love to hate me.
They love to, I mean, you can love to hate Mike too. It's great, you know? So we do have a couple of questions coming in. Awesome. Thank you, Donna, so much for your help. So it is there. So go ahead and take advantage of that 6-week challenge. It's currently being offered at $100 off. And I will put up our next offer of just the workouts. If you're like, I don't want to do all that nutrition, that freaks me out, it's the summer. I mean, come on, right? We can make excuses all day long. I'm going to pop up the other offer now. So if you did want that, go ahead and click, tap, tap, tap. Here we go. Here comes the other one. So here are just our on-demand workouts. We want you to get yours now. They'll be delivered to your phone. You can start getting myokines released from your body as early as Monday, just in time for, another holiday, which is the perfect time to start, by the way, because if you can stay on track around holidays and birthdays and anniversaries and weddings, and I mean, that's kind of all year round. You have at least one holiday a month. So you got to learn how to do that, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So Donna hated on you in the past.
I mean, listen, I'm okay with it, but I know everybody enjoys it. But I think that what we can say is, as challenging as the workouts can be, I mean, they remain fresh, They're fun, and it really keeps you engaged. I mean, yes, you may at times want to curse me, and that's okay. I could live with that. Right? Because I know that the benefit that it's deriving for you.
And he won't curse you back.
And I won't. But also it's cool to know that you're not going to get thrown into the same boring routine week after week, workout after workout. These workouts are constantly changing and all intended to give you the results that you're looking for. So if you need more muscle tone, you're going to get those routines to help you get more toned. If you need more strength and are really concerned about bone density, you're going to get that. If you feel like I need greater cardiovascular conditioning, guess what? Resistance training can actually improve your cardiovascular conditioning, and these workouts are proof of it.
Yeah.
So just want to encourage you to get on those workouts. They're going to be amazing. And I hope to see you on the other side of the screen.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, I think I just saw one pop up. I'm going to pop this challenge up one more time before we hop off. If there are any questions, we'd love for you to put those in the chat box. You can follow us on social media. We have our Pure Physique Instagram link there. And then at the bottom of the screen is our phone number that you can text and call. And it really comes directly to us. So we're excited to see you. We're excited to answer any questions that you have. And we want to thank you so much for joining us for the key to a vibrant body and life. We hope you guys have a wonderful evening.